You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Minor Family Dentistry and by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History. Minor Family Dentistry would like to bring you the following dental health tip. It's recommended to have a dental checkup no later than your child's first birthday. An adult should brush for a young child and monitor older children's brushing to ensure a good job is done. Flossing should start when teeth are touching. Minor Family Dentistry wishes you good dental health. Families, including children of all ages, are welcome. Minor Family Dentistry, 1010 Downing and Hayes. Find them in the Next Tech directory.
A new educational experience is being offered by the Sternberg Museum, and they need your help to get it started. This summer, Sternberg will launch new summer camps for students. They're running a fundraiser on rockethub.com to raise funds for supplies and tools. To donate to this cause, go to rockethub.com and search Sternberg Museum. Help them provide experiences for more discovery under the dome.
Discovery under the dome.
Hello, and welcome to You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. My name is Dana Stanton, and I'm the coordinator of early childhood grants for USD 489. And with me today is my friend Debbie Breeden. Good morning, Debbie Breeden.
Good morning, Dana.
Now tell us, Debbie, what organization do you work for and what do you do there?
Well, I'm an occupational therapist, and I work for the Hayes Area Children's Center, the Infant Toddler Early Intervention Team. So I'm part of a team there.
Now today you're going to talk to us about sensory processing. For those who don't know, tell us, what is sensory processing?
Well, sensory processing is using our senses to see what's happening in our environment and then either ignore it or we act upon it. Like if you and I were to hear the train go by, we would say, there's a train, and we would ignore that because we're doing this program. Or the other thought would be, if there was a train and I was interested in that, I would go to the window and it would interrupt this whole process, and that would be an abnormal response to the train going by that you and I would experience. But if it was a young child, you might get either one of those responses.
Now you've brought props, so tell me about your chart.
This is a very simple, I'm a very visual person, and this is a very simple way to explain to parents about sensory processing. There is a balance, and here we are right in here, and we turn ourselves up and turn ourselves down all day long. This is a very typical, normal thing that we need in our lives, and some children have a hard time staying or regulating themselves or taking what's happening to them in their environment and using it in a successful manner. And so this is a very visual chart, or just a little thing that I draw for parents all the time. It's a real easy way to understand visual processing.
Now, I know from a lot of the trainings I go to, I hear a lot about neurological systems. Do those help keep us balanced?
Oh, yes. That's the whole deal about sensory processing. We all know about our eyes and our ears and taste, but there's also what's called our tactile system. The receptors are our skin and the inside of our mouth. It's the largest sensory system of the body. And so if things touch us, or we have little tags, or sometimes things that you eat, you just don't like the feel of that in your mouth, we're processing what goes on in our sensory or our tactile system. There's also our vestibular system. It's our response to movement of our body and how we respond to that. The receptors are in our inner ear. It has to do with balance. And so some kids are really afraid of being on a swing or on equipment that they don't really know how to adjust their body. The other neurological system is our proprioceptive system, and that's our ability to be on automatic pilot. I know when we drive our car, we can be on automatic pilot. We can be zoned and kind of figure out, oh, how did I get here? And that's a real scary thing. But that's our wonderful ability of our body to that muscle memory. Those receptors are in our joints, and as our tendons pull on our joints, we can know where we are in space without our vision, without our eyes watching us. And so And in children, play should be effortless fun. And sometimes you see kids that really have a hard time with movement and climbing and balancing and learning about steps and how to manage steps. And so sometimes that proprioceptive system isn't really working very well.
Now, say there's a child who's having a hard time with sensory processing. What does that child look like? What are they going through?
Well, if a child is over-responsive, like in our diagram, you might see him or her just really, attention is a very hard thing. They might really just be kind of flitting from one thing to the other and not really learning how to concentrate, how to discriminate, how to really play with toys. You might get children that they aren't understanding their proprioceptive system. They might be, maybe pushing in line as children wait, like for a drink or to wash their hands or something. Or they might really break toys a lot. They're just not really understanding their own strength or how their body really works, how toys get put together, how to play with them. And then you have your fussy babies, children, little tiny ones that are really having a hard time going to sleep, turning themselves down to go to sleep, or turning themselves up. You have an under-responsive child, how to, turn themselves up to become in that balanced area again. And so we have to help children sometimes regulate or process what's happening in their environment.
It's almost like a balancing act. You've used that term.
That's right. Going back to that illustration again, that balancing act of, because this is a normal response of all of us, and we need all of this, but there are some children that their nervous system isn't regulating these responses from our environment very well. And so then we get behaviors, and I also want to say that this is only a piece to the puzzle. There's behavior, there's a child's temperament. Are they kind of over-the-top, excited type of a child? That's a quality that's wonderful. Or are they more kind of calm and kind of a chill-out type of a child? Mm-hmm. So you have to kind of look at that balancing act again. Is it who my child is, or do they really have a sensory processing disorder or a challenge, or do they really need help in those areas?
Now, say there's a grandparent out there who thinks, maybe I should get this checked out. Who would they call?
Well, a good place to start is the Hayes Area Children's Center. We have a monthly screening that we screen children birth to 3, and then also 3 to 5-year-olds. And so they could call the Children's Center, and we also have an occupational therapist on staff. There's a special education early childhood teacher, our whole team, a physical therapist, our social worker, our nurse, speech language pathologist. So there's a whole team of people that could help, and that number is, of course, 785, and then it's 625-3257.
And I know you can also call. You can go online at www.hayesparents.com, and all the screening dates are there as well. So thank you so much, Debbie. Now, she would not like me to do this, but I know that Debbie is getting ready to retire after how many years?
24 here at the center.
24 years, and I know as a mom, you have worked with my son, and you did wonderful things with him, and that was just one case. And I think if we took a poll of all the kids that you've helped, of all the staff people who have learned from you, it would be too many to count. So thank you to your service, to all the kids and all the parents in our community. We thank you.
Oh, well, thank you too, and I know that it's been a very, very satisfying career, and I've really, really enjoyed it. Hayes has been a wonderful place to work, and I also work for USD 49, and I just really appreciate all the people and staff and children that I have come in contact with. So thank you.
Thank you, Debbie.
Okay.
You've been watching You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. Parents, remember, you are your child's first and best teacher. Thank you.
Thanks for watching You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You can watch the program weekdays in the noon and 9 o'clock hours. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Minor Family Dentistry and by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History.